evening, children. I am Sarveshwari, PGT Economics, working in APMS Dharmavaram. So today we are going to discuss about the people and migration. So have you heard the word migration? Yes, all of you know well known about migration. So here one example I will explain you. Ramaya, a migrant teacher in Hyderabad. Actually, he lives in a Sunkesala village in Kurnool district. Why he migrated? Because for education and for job purpose he migrated to Hyderabad. He got government job as a school teacher in 1983 and posted to Channampalli in Kurnool district, which is 25 kilometers away from Sunkesala. So after that he moved again to Kurnool. So later he migrated to Hyderabad. So this is Ramaya's story, who migrated for job purpose. So not only Ramaya, so many hundreds and thousands of people move to urban locations for education, employment and better opportunities. So but you require some support for migration to take place. So you have observed that in your village also so many people are migrating for farming. If there is no work in their village, they migrate to another village, or they migrate to town, nearby town, or they migrate to another state also sometimes. Now measure and classify migration patterns. Migration arises out of various social, economic or political reasons. So mainly there are two criteria to identify a person as a migrant. First criteria is birthplace, the place where the person was born. Next criteria is last usual place of residence, a place where the person had stayed continuously for a period of 6 months or more. Then we can say that he is a migrant. Suppose if the person lives where if he leaves the place where the place he was born to another place for a period of 6 months or more, then he was called a migrant. So here is a list of few people given here. Categorize them as migrant or non-migrant. See the table. Sindhu, present address for the last 6 months, Rajamandri town. Place of birth, village in East Godavari district. Sindhu is migrant or non-migrant? Yes, she is a migrant. So pattern of migration, rural to urban or urban to urban? She moves from she moves from village to town. So rural to urban. Her migration pattern is rural to urban. So what are the possible reasons? We don't know exactly, but we can expect whether she gets married or for education purpose or some other better opportunities, she moves from village to town. Okay. So in India, according to 2001 census, about 307 million people have been reported as migrants. So migrations may be having so many reasons. Mainly females report marriage as the most common reason for migration. For males employment or some other better opportunities. To get better opportunities, they will move. But we cannot say that females females migrate only for marriage reason, because not only the marriage, she can migrate for some other reasons like education and other better employment opportunities. If the people dissatisfied with the employment opportunities in the native place, then they can migrate to better places for better opportunities for studies, or suppose if they got lost in a business or some fears in the family, they move to other place. Most migrants move only for short distance. Out of the 307 million migrants, about 259 million migrated from one part of the state to another, that is from one village or town to another village or town. Around 13% migrated from one state to another. So out of the 300 million migrants, 84.2% move from one village to another village or town. Only 30% move from one state to another. See this table, migrations in India according to the 2001 census. So here category given, total population, that means number of persons. So total migrants also given here. So we have to calculate the percentage values. So how much percent of people migrated we have to calculate by using these formulas. Okay. So most of the people moved from states such as Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Uttarakhand and Tamil Nadu to states such as Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab and Karnataka. So see this map. So here in this map, estimated major net urban to urban. So here people moved from urban to urban. Next in this map, major net rural to urban. Next here interstate, that means one state to another state. Now seasonal and temporary migration. So all of you well known that most of the people in your village move to another place for some works only in particular season. So that is only temporary migration. If the work completed there, they again return to their native place. So according to the National Census surveys, every fourth person in India is a migrant. During 2001-11, migration increased, but not as large as in the 1980s. 1980s, migration is very high. During 2001 to 2011, it is little bit decreased. So this may be within a state or outside. So you have read, now itself I told the story of Ramaya. He is a rural to urban migrant. He moved from rural to urban. So like this, so many people are migrating into town as a laborer. So if we examine the statistical data, rural to urban migration and the multiple reasons for migration. So rural migration is very high, but in the census data they are not recorded because rural to rural migration is less than 6 months. That's why in the census data it was not captured. The number of seasonal migrants is underestimated in India due to the limitations in the definition of the term migrant used in national surveys. Because migrant means he had to stay in the migrated place for 6 months or more. Then only he will call migrant. So see the here sugarcane cutters of Maharashtra, how they migrated. Now we will discuss. Maharashtra is the one of the popular states of India which produce sugar. It has 186 cooperative sugar factories. Large scale sugarcane cultivation began here in the early 1970s after the Koyna Dam was built. So sugarcane needs more water to cultivate. That's why after Koyna Dam was built, sugarcane cultivation had taken place largely. Nearly 6,50,000 laborers migrate from central to western Maharashtra for sugarcane cutting each year. In that 6,50,000 laborers, 2 lakhs are children in the elementary school age group of 6 to 14 years. They also move along with their family members because they have to move along with their parents. So sugarcane cutters camp for the season in clearing the earmarked by factories. So each family is provided with a bamboo mat and poles which are converted into a small conical hut or kopi. So they lived in that kopis. So the kopis are cramped together and bullocks are parked in front. So animals and human beings, they all lived in congested conditions. So every day in the early hours itself they move to the sugarcane field. So only for one person they will cut per day 1.5 ton sugarcane. The pay rate per ton varies between only 80 rupees to 100 rupees. The man and woman both of them cut the cane, remove the leaves and throw it on the ground. Then the children takes the cane and puts it on a pile. So pile ante kuppalga vestaru. Again the piles thus made are then tied into bundles and they are carried on the head by men and women and put on the carts. So they have to wait for a long time to offload the cane. They have to wait for several hours to offload the cane. Like this, so many rural workers migrate for a short duration due to the distress caused in the rural areas. Mainly agricultural laborers or marginal farmers in their place of origin and mostly belong to low income households, Dalits and Adivasis. So we have seen how sugarcane cutters in Maharashtra move from one place to another place. They move from rural to rural. So that is called rural seasonal migration. They work in the agriculture. These rural seasonal migrants work in the plantations, bricklines, quarries, construction sites and fish processing. So some of the examples are given below. So here in West Bengal in the late 1990s, 5 lakh migrants, mostly tribals and other low caste, moved to Bardhaman district during harvest season. And 50,000 women from Kerala actually migrate to work in fish processing industries of Maharashtra. Like this, so many migrants move to urban areas to work in construction sites and for selling plastic goods, vegetables, and engaged in other petty business and casual labor. So most of the migrants are from tribal communities and from drought prone areas of the state. So here the graph pie chart given here, the details of the short term migrants who stayed away from their native place for not more than 6 months. So that is why they are called short term migrants. So here see the social background of short term migrants in India. S is 19%, ST is 23%, OBC is 40% and others 18%. So the National Commission of Rural Labour in its report found that there is no uneven development and regional disparities are there. That's why so many people are moving to other places. If their living place is not developed, then they will go to the place where the place is developed, and where there is no regional disparities, they will go to that place and work. What happens when people migrate? So many people migrate for so many reasons. But what happens if they migrate? They have to face so many problems in the migration place, because migrant laborers spend more on food. But they cannot get food grains from fair price shops at their workplaces. That's why they live in harsh conditions and in unhygienic conditions. That means they lived in slum areas, because they don't know that place is a new place for them. So they will live in slum areas with less income. They suffer from various health problems and are prone to disease. So those who are working in quarries, brick kilns, construction sites and mines suffer from various diseases. If the employers do not follow the safety measures, accidents will occur in industrial areas and construction sites. So in the case of women migrant workers, for them there is no maternity leave. They have to go back to work very soon after childbirth. So when families migrate, children, those who are accompanying with the parents, they do not go to school in that place. So if the parents go to work, then they have to take care of their sibling. If the elder child have to take care of their siblings. Schools in their native place refuse to take them again when they come back. So they finally become dropouts. When males leave their families, then women have to take care of all the responsibilities of the family. So young girls in such families are required to take care of siblings, and many of them become dropouts. So in migration place also, they have to exposure to different environmental situation, and they have to they have to suffer with stress, and food available and social atmosphere will all affect on migrants. So they have greater exposure to ideas and try to challenge older nations. Some migrants and particularly those going for long time, send remittances for their family. Remittances means if the family member will migrate to another place, he will work and earn some money. So he will send that money to their native place for their family. That is called remittance. In some regions of India, nearly one-third of households depend on the remittances sent by their migrant members. All of you know that in our country, so many are going to Kuwait, Dubai, isn't it? They are also migrants only. They will send money to their family who are living in India. This is international migration. Okay. So they will send the money to their family, those who are living in India. That is called remittances. So majority of seasonal migrants either remit or bring back savings. Migration allows households to meet debt. Suppose if there is debt in their native place, if they migrate and earn some money, they will meet that debt and other obligations without having to sell assets. It is also common to find migrant families buying house, land, agricultural machinery and some other consumer durables. So all of you know that suppose if some migrants might take up jobs in the destination, they acquire skills required in the destination area, became aware of how to get regular jobs, and they will get the jobs regularly or permanently, and they will settle in that migrant place only. Okay. So many people in our area move on to the other place to earn money for their livelihood. That is called migration. So they are called migrants. Look at this picture. Here national boundaries are protected against migrants. Here are examples of USA on Mexican border, South Korea on North Korean border, India on Bangladesh border. Okay. Thank you all of you.